Thanks for staying with us. It's still the conversation. And as I said earlier, we have a potpourri of discussions this morning. This week marks the global observance of World Breastfeeding Week, and it's a time dedicated to raising awareness and galvanizing support for breastfeeding as a vital foundation for lifelong health and development. And the 2025 theme is breastfeeding and work. Let's make it work, which focuses on empowering working parents with the support they need to breastfeed successfully. Today, we're privileged to have with us Dr. Abimbola Mabogunje, the Permanent Secretary of Health District 6. She brings to the conversation a wealth of experience in public health administration and maternal child health care. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
So let's start this way. Why is breastfeeding, so important both to the mother and, of course, the child?
Yes. So breastfeeding is extremely important. It's nature's first food for the child, and it contains all the antibodies that the child needs and all the nutrients for proper development. And the recommendation is exclusive breastfeeding without water, without agbo or any supplements of any sort for the first 6 months of life, because the mother can produce everything that child needs, from the nutrients, the fats, the proteins, everything that the child needs, to the antibodies that the child needs to fight infection. So the benefits of breastfeeding, they're enormous. To the child, they have, like I said before, everything they need to develop and grow, both physically and cognitively, their brain development. They develop stronger immune system because of the breastfeeding. Like I said, has all the nutrients and the antibodies that the child needs. There's bonding between the mother and the child, because when you're breastfeeding the child, you're looking at the child is looking at you. There's that closeness as well. So it's very good for the baby. For the mother, it helps initially with the involution of the uterus so that they're able to stop bleeding quickly. After you give birth, you bleed for some time. So that helps and makes the uterus go back to nearly as it should be. It helps the mother lose weight as well. It helps prevent ovarian cancer and breast cancer. It reduces the chances or the risk that the mother has it. It's just good. It helps in child spacing as well, because when you're breastfeeding actively, fertility is reduced. I don't say completely. So you still need to have your contraceptives, but the chances of you having a child while you're actively breastfeeding is slimmer. It is not down to zero. So please still have your contraceptives. And for the father as well, it saves him money, because breastfeeding is easy on the go. You don't have to buy formula. You don't have to sterilize bottles. You don't have to do anything that is not environmental friendly. So it's good for the pockets of the family, basically. And because the child is not ill, you're not going to hospital unnecessarily or taking antibiotics or things like that. So it's cost beneficial for the family.
Okay, when we look at the theme for this year, breastfeeding and work, let's make it work. Now let's talk about some of the challenges that nursing mothers are experiencing, especially at the workplace. We know that the state government gives 6 months maternity leave for you to, do your exclusive breastfeeding, and then when you resume, you have to close at maybe 2 p.m. or so.
Yes, so you have a few hours
That's
off.
for government. Now you have some private organizations who do not care. So let's talk about some of the challenges and how this can be resolved.
Yeah, so I think you've said it mostly. So the mother is trying to breastfeed exclusively, and she has to go to work. Especially when she doesn't have that 6 months leave, which the Lagos state government gives to all their workers for the first 2 children. So they have to go. There's nowhere for them to put the child at work. Some work don't allow children to come in because there's no space, or a nanny to come with the child. So it's extremely difficult. So, and then with the power supply, you don't want to express and leave in the fridge just in case there's no power. However, if you have somebody that can look after the child, you can express for short times. So you can express and the milk can be fine for 4 to 6 hours without refrigeration. If you have a fridge, you can keep it for 24 hours without any problem, provided there are no outages. And if it's in the freezer, it can last for a few months without any problems as well. So you can express in all those ways. But the best thing to do is for the mother to be able to breastfeed for that first 6 months at least. So we need to have government policies that encourage this, that makes private facilities to also do that the same that the government is doing for the working mothers as much as possible.
Anything for working fathers?
Also for working fathers, so the fathers in Lagos State, so in Lagos State, fathers have 2 weeks leave as a paternity leave, and that will help support the mother, and we encourage that a lot. Yes.
I want to know: is there you have listed out the benefits of breastfeeding now? Some women just do the express, they express their milk. They don't put the baby to breast. So is there a what's the word to use now? A health benefit to put the baby to breast, like mouth to breast, and then express it?
So, I mean, obviously, mouth to breast is the best. Like I said, there's bonding with the mother and child, and it's actually not so bad feeling. It's a nice feeling to have your child suckle your breast. But in the absence of that, yes, you can express, you know, and the benefits of the breast milk is still the same.
Still the same.
Yes, yes.
Okay, we've talked about the benefits of breastfeeding. I'd like you to talk about some myths and misconceptions about breastfeeding. I'd like you to debunk them here now.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the major misconceptions is that first milk, that is colostrum, that looks a bit more yellow than the other milk, is not good for the child. It's actually the best thing for the child because it contains a lot of antibodies, which is good to help the child develop their immunity properly. So that first milk is good. It shouldn't be discarded. It should be given to the child. The other thing is that you need to give glucose water or things like that. You don't need to give any water, any glucose water or anything. The breast milk contains enough water to keep the child hydrated. So you don't need to do that. Breastfeeding will make your breast sag. That is not true. If you are breastfeeding, you won't lose weight. You will actually lose weight because it helps you to lose weight as well.
Some people say once you're breastfeeding, you eat more.
You're eating for 2.
Yeah, you eat more and then you put on more weight.
No. You don't need to do that. Whatever you're eating is enough, provided you're eating good food that is a balanced diet and it's healthy, because it's what you eat that the child eats. Yes.
All right. Talking about eating for 2 now. So you're eating for 1, right? What are some of the things that a nursing mother needs to eat, to ensure that both she and the baby remain healthy?
Like I said, a balanced, nutritious diet. So right quantities. I know. So right quantities of the fats, the carbohydrates, the proteins, and all that. So your food needs to have protein in it. So not a whole load of carbohydrates and tiny protein. You need a good portion of protein. You need fruits and vegetables as well. You need to drink plenty of fluids. Yes, water, not so much sugary drinks, but good fluids. And I know the economy is hard at the moment. And what we do in our primary healthcare centers is something called food demonstration. So we encourage the mothers to get food that is nutritious to them. And also when the child is being weaned, the good food that they can use that is not so expensive but has all the nutrients that the child needs. So most of our primary healthcare centers across the state do food demonstrations on a regular basis, and that's where they'll teach the mothers what to eat themselves and what to give their child to eat.
So let's also talk about breastfeeding after the first 6 months. What is the approved duration of breastfeeding?
So the approved duration of breastfeeding, there is no right or wrong answer, but we recommend that they should continue breastfeeding for 2 years, till the child is 2 years old. Yes. So a lot of people will say, oh, the child will now be pulling you all over the place and all that. The child will bite you and things like that. But I mean, one of the things that we need to do is make breastfeeding acceptable anywhere you are, So even in that first 6 months or thereafter, the mother should be able to have a space that she can breastfeed. So our facilities, the shops, the churches, the mosques, places like that, public places, should have places where a mother can breastfeed effectively.
There's this saying. I don't want to regard it as a misconception or as a myth, until we hear it from the expert.
Okay.
They say when you, okay, it happened to me. Let me just say it. I I had my baby. I had another baby while I was pregnant with another child when I was still breastfeeding.
Okay.
And someone said, "Stop breastfeeding! You're poisoning the child." But unfortunately for me, the child herself stopped.
Okay.
She couldn't take the breast milk anymore. She stopped. I went to the hospital. They said since she's the one stopping herself, I should now start to give her formula.
Yes. So it does happen sometimes, yes. But it doesn't stop you from breastfeeding. So if that child wanted to continue breastfeeding, it's okay while you're pregnant to continue to breastfeed.
It's okay.
Nothing affects the mother and the baby in the
No. Just make sure you're eating well, resting well, taking a lot of fluids. You're fine.
Okay, yes. I still want to talk about support here for the breastfeeding mother. Aside the husband, what other support can extended family give, in supporting the breastfeeding mother?
So support comes in many, many ways. So just the fact that the mother doesn't have to cook and somebody else is helping in the house to cook will help the mother relax, be able to concentrate more on the baby and things like that. Washing dishes, just helping around the house so that the mother can be able to put her feet up and feed the baby. Also, sometimes mothers get tired, like we all do. If she can express her milk so that somebody else can do that feeding while she takes a rest as well, that is support. And then in the community as well, making it acceptable, having spaces that mothers can breastfeed is a form of support as well. Yes.
Are we done?
Going?
Yeah. We said we just have about 15 minutes. And thank you very much, Dr. Abimbola Mabogunje, for shedding light on such vital aspect of maternal and child health. Interesting conversations we've had on breastfeeding right now. We'll go on another short break. When we come back, the conversation continues.